Hello everyone, and welcome to Judy's Creations and Crochet. And for a very short moment, I have a little visitor here, and I thought she might say hello to you so you can see my other furry little baby. She's not inclined to stay though. She's ready to go. She doesn't like being in here. She was snooping around and I picked her up, and then she felt like she needed to run, but she's sitting for a minute, so we'll see how long this lasts. Anyway, welcome to my channel. Today is December the 8th, 2025, and it is day 4 of our 12 days of Christmas. And we're enjoying opening lots of yarn, and so far everybody seems to be enjoying this. And also I have been sharing patterns with you, and that seems to be enjoyable for everybody as well. So I realize now that I'm sitting here, I got something out to bring down and I forgot it. So I'll have to take a break a little bit later and go up and grab it. So what do you think, little girl? Is it okay being here? She's kind of low down. You can't really see her. I don't know if I can. Nope, here she goes. Yeah, she took off, so no point trying to get her in the picture. So I don't have anything really new to show you. With doing this every 2 days, I don't get a lot accomplished. I did work more on the blue item that I showed you the other day, and I'm looking forward to hearing what you think of the black and the white together. Today is Monday. Of course, I'm taping these ahead, so it's hard to keep track of what day you're seeing them. But December the 8th, I believe, is a Monday. And the next time I come back to you it'll be December the 10th, and it will be day 5 of the 12 days of Christmas. It'll be Wednesday. There will be no Thursday program this week. We'll be skipping over it. So on the Wednesday, if you still need it, that is, I'm going to be doing another roll of the dice for the item I'm making. But somebody told me last time that the last roll was enough to finish it if you followed the pattern the proper way. As we all know, I didn't, so I have to do a couple more rolls. I think I'm going to need 2 more, one this week and probably another one next week, and that'll finish it for me. So before we get into opening advents, I will talk about this. For some reason, I feel I had this on or something recently, but I'm not really sure. So I'm just going to mention it. Oh, I know. I sent it in to Kathy at Yarn with Heart. I sent this in to her last month's Mal. And this is a cowl made from a pattern. I'm positive it was a pattern from EFA, but I wasn't able to find the name of it when I was looking for it. But what I do know is that it is yarn used from EFA. It is pearlescent worsted. Pearlescent worsted is just the perfect size to make a cowl, just a nice size decorative cowl. And I'm going to be doing that with some of my EFA worsted yarn. It is back here behind my gift from Gary. So I have 2 skeins of some of the colors, so I'm going to find bigger items to make as well. But anyway, I know you're saying enough of the chitter chatter, Judy. We really came to see you open some advents. So I'm going to start with opening this one over here. This is day 4. This is what helps me keep track. If I look in that box where I get one a day every day of our 12 days of Christmas, I can keep track of where we're supposed to be. So I'm going to open day 4, which we've gotten this far in the set for the dwarves. I just opened my pins there. So let's see what day 4 is. I'm expecting it to be a dull or muted color. Oh, I rather like that. That kind of goes with all the ones we've had so far. It has that blue-gray in it, and it has that browny gold color in it, speckles. I'll pin it on the board and then I'll show you. And you can see how well this is all going together. I'll have to find a shawl to use these colors in, because they do really, see how well this is all going together? This is really nice. I'm really happy with the way this is as a set. And I can see that I probably, let's see though, there's about 87 yards in it and there are 12 of them. So it's 870 and another 170, 1040. That'd be a big shawl, but maybe I won't use the entire skein in some cases. Like at the beginning, maybe I'll shorten it a little bit because that'll make big sections. But I can see making a nice cohesive shawl out of these. I really do like them. Whether I make a regular triangular shawl or an asymmetrical shawl, I'm not sure yet. We'll see what the colors are like when we get all finished. But I really do like how nicely these are going together. So that looks good. All right, next we're going to open the Lake House Mood set. And here is my box of the Lake House Mood. And these are from Germany. And so I need to get out 7 and 8. There's 7. And there's 8. And I have to say, so far, I'm not really partial to this many greens that we're getting. I'll show you how far we are. Very much a set of greens and every kind of tone of green you could come up with. I kind of hope we change direction. Get some other colors in here. Okay, now here is a green I do like. Like I said, I guess she's going to do this all in greens, and I did not have that impression from the picture that she showed as her inspiration. Some of these greens I like, but not all of them. Okay, whoops, let's get this in here properly. Ouch. Okay, and let's see what day 8 brings us. Yes, another green. I don't know how there can be this many greens. Are we going to have 24 shades of green? Now this one, I don't mind it either. Put this closer together. I gotta be sure to get all of these on one board. Okay, so here we are with the 2 newest screens right here. I have to say it's these greens in here that I don't mind that one too much, but these 2 not as much. These I really like, and of course with the blues in it, I wish there'd been more blue greens. So it's going to be interesting to see if we're going to get 24 greens in all. It amazes me that you could come up with have that many shades of green. So, and finally, day 4 with Ravenswood. And day 4 is another skein of yarn. And again, I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm sure it's going to be a little more exciting than the last one. As much as I like this, I was disappointed when I opened it because I was so sure we were going to get some beautiful hand-dyed something with purple in it. So I have to guess this time there's got to be some color and some purple in it. So I'm really looking forward to this one. I suspect there are a few other people out there feeling the same as me about this. So let's see what we can do to open this skein of yarn. And, oh, now this is interesting. Yes, very colorful. I'm a little surprised that gold in it because her inspiration didn't show a hint of that. But it is a beautiful color. Look at the beautiful teals, and there is some purple in it and some pink up here. And this is called Early Morning. Again, it's DK weight with 245 yards, and generally speaking, her yarn is 85 merino and 15 nylon, and she uses a very fine micron for her merino. So that is Ravenswood. And people that have opened other colors, inspirations of hers, I would really, at some point, maybe when you finished opening, I would love to see what colors you got from the inspiration that she had. I think 8 different inspiration choices, and I chose the one that was predominantly purple. So much more exciting than our last one, but I mean, it'll make a nice pairing as we go on. This will maybe make a border color to accent the colors we're going to get as time goes on. So I'm happier with that. I just put these down here out of the way. Now, I didn't have anything else other than a couple patterns to show you, but if you give me a minute to stop here, I'll go and get what I forgot upstairs. Okay. That didn't take long. I knew this would not be a very long video because I didn't have a lot of other work to show you. I haven't made a lot of progress lately in any of my projects, and you know, I've finished things, and guess what? This blanket isn't staying up very good. Probably because it's kind of silky, or maybe it's the way I sit. I don't know. But anyway, let's get that blanket back up there to help keep me warm because it's very cold down here again today. So I thought I would share something just a little bit different today, something Christmassy, and I hope you enjoy seeing these. For those that have been here a little while, you know that before I got back into crochet, and I got back into crochet just about 10 years ago now, and since I got back into it, it's just become my focus, and haven't worked on much else. And I wondered why I hadn't been crocheting over the past years. The world of crochet seemed to open up and have so much more to offer than it used to, because in my early years of crocheting, you know, you saw lots of Afghans, and I'm sure people crocheted for babies, but there wasn't a lot more. But now it's opened wide open, and I am thoroughly enjoying my crochet, which is a little more relaxing than the things I did before that. And as most of you will know from being here, is I was an avid cross stitcher, to the point that I actually had a retail business. I had a storefront for about 5.5 years until the economy kind of took a nosedive, and I moved my store into my home for another 5.5 years. And then after I retired, I decided I didn't want to be locked in, held down to business hours and so on once I was retired. So I let the store go and sold off the merchandise. But in that time, I did a fair bit of, well, I did a lot of cross stitch. The walls in my house are full, and I've done things that I've given away and so on. And in fact, it is through my cross stitch store that I actually met Rose. Her and her sister were coming from out of town. Her sister lived in Charlotte, South Carolina, and Rose at the time was living on a sailboat in the Caribbean, but their mother was here in Chatham, and they often came to visit her, of course, and they were cross stitchers, and they came into my store, and that's how we became friendly. And then Rose moved to Chatham to be with her mother when she was ill, and of course our friendship started, which will be 22 years ago come February. So I thought I would show you some of my Christmas cross-stitch pictures. And I'm going to start out with a picture. How am I going to do this? I'm going to split the screen, I guess, with a picture that Rose did for Christmas for her sister. So here is the picture that she did. Now I'm going to start with a picture that I think the most proud of. It was a picture I found in a magazine, and the picture, I'll take it off. I always keep it taped to this finished product, but it's a picture that looked like this. And I really liked it because it used a variety of stitches, and it used a large variety of fibers. And for those of you that are cross stitchers, of course, most cross stitch is done with floss, and I only use DMC floss. But then they came out with silk flosses, and they had metallics, and they had silk, and they had other things. I really liked the picture, but in a way, it just missed the mark for me. So I decided that I was going to get a different color background. I'm going to sneeze here. Oh, sorry for that. Maybe I'll try and cut it out. I decided I wanted to do something different. I love the pattern and the idea, but I wanted to change it. So I got green background, and I got every color and fiber I could find in red. And this is how it turned out. A little bit of brown for the bucket, but then we have, I think you can see there's sparkle and fuzzy there. Gold metallics. I did put gold in with the red to give it a break. And this gold, yes, every one of the golds is a metallic. This is, I believe it is a silk floss. And then we have red metallic, some more of the silk, and definitely silk. Now these are different metallics. This is more like a thread version. This is heavier, much heavier, and you can see the difference in the colors. Now this, I believe, is maybe red floss, more metallic, and this is silk, and so on, and that's definitely a silk and the star on the top. But there was a company called Rainbow Gallery, and they believed in making different textures for the fiber. They believed if you were doing Santa's boots, you should have black patent leather, and they made something that looked like patent leather. So I just went to I had a rack of their stuff, and I went through and I pulled out every red I could find and some variations in the gold. I don't think you can see much of a variation, but the way this is done, more so than in the original, you can see the variation in the actual stitches as well. They were all fancy stitches, different stitches, sort of like the idea of embroidery or crewel. And that is one of my favorite pictures. I don't let a year go by without putting this up. I'm very proud of how that turned out. Okay, so that's one picture that we have hanging upstairs. Then the next one is a little more of a old-fashioned looking. I enjoyed doing this one as well. Maybe sort of Elizabethan or Edwardian. I don't know my time periods, but I did enjoy that. Whenever the colors change a lot, like in these, that is time consuming. And the final picture I want to show you is this one. And you know how you feel about working with black yarn, how difficult it is? Well, it's even more difficult to stitch on a black fabric. And I don't think you can maybe see there is sparkle yarn throughout this. It's an opal blending filament that you put alongside the thread and you stitch them together to give the sparkle look. I can see it in the picture, but I don't know that you, every now and then you maybe catch a hint of sparkle. Yes, and later this church became part of a long scene with people in sleighs, horse-drawn sleighs and skaters and so on. This was enough for me, and that was a fair bit of work. And in fact, I got started and got off. I think I started over here and I got off count at one point, and I think I put the picture aside for several years before I went back to it and fixed it. And now I'm glad I did, because I really like that picture. But working on black is even harder than crocheting with black. So I hope you enjoyed seeing that little bit of a picture. I just thought it would fill out the video just a little bit. As I said, next week we'll be doing the roll of the dice. I have it sitting here ready to go for the next video. So now it's time that we're going to look at a couple of patterns, and I thought I had the same idea for both knit and crochet, but it turns out I don't have what I thought I had. But anyway, we're going to start with the crochet pattern this time. Here it is. It's called the Advent Baby Socks, and it's by Rainsford. This is a free pattern, but it's free on her site. There is a link in the description to take you to her site. The pattern has 25 projects, and they're made with fingering weight yarns, and it's done in, unfortunately, UK terminology. She says that, there is this syndrome about the second sock. People hate doing the sock a second time. So to get away from that, she has suggested that you use this for an Advent set of minis. Each sock uses just under the 20 grams that you get in a mini set. It is a top cuff down constructed sock, and in the pattern there is a video link to YouTube. And so it is made for a 24 advent calendar set of yarn. And I thought they were quite cute. You could make 24 different ones and hang them on a line by the fireplace or somewhere as a decoration. Now I thought I had the same thing in a knit pattern, but it turns out I didn't. So I went with this to be similar. And this is called the Mitten Garland Advent Calendar. This is $5 US, which is $7.28 Canadian. But again, I believe there is a link to her site where you can get a free version. Now this pattern has 1,311 projects, so it has been a very popular pattern. Again, it is done with fingering weight. She says it uses a total of 1,054 yards, and that would be the amount you would get in a 24-day advent calendar of 20-gram minis. You buy it with all of the patterns together, but apparently there are 24 different PDFs, 24 different patterns for the different days. And if you go to her site, you can get all 24 of these patterns separate on the site. But I guess that's how she offered them to start with, and people asked for them together as a collection, and that's when she made the collection and put it on Ravelry with a fee. So you could have a garland of socks, and you could have a garland of mittens if you're a knitter and a crocheter. But I think they were both kind of cute and a little different than what I've been showing you up to now. Now in the mitten one, she shows a lot of them in red and white, but I did try to show you a picture where there were a few other colors, and I think that would be a really lovely set to do in the 24 different colors that you would get in an advent calendar set. So those are the free patterns for today. I'll have, not free, those are the pattern ideas for today, although you can get them both free this time. And I'll be back with a few more to show you next day. So I'll be back in 2 more days on Wednesday, and we will be doing our advents, and we'll be doing the roll of the die. For those of you that still need a few more rows, I figure I need maybe 20 more rows. Might be 18, but I think 20. So until I see you back here again, happy hooking.